Hey y'all, hey, I got some time today. John chapter 5 was deep. John chapter 5 was a lot of realization, a lot of accountability, a lot of Jesus is done playing with us and our excuses. Okay, so let's just get right on into it. Okay, I just want to show y'all what I go through before I make these videos. But John chapter 5 really, woo, it really did something for me. And y'all see all I read? Yeah, Jesus is done. Okay. I studied this word 3 days ago, and I really studied it again this morning because this one was good. It brought me to reality too, because he's talking to me too, y'all. But all right, let's get back to it. All right, so we left off in John chapter 4 where Jesus performed the second sign, where he instantly cured that man's son just by saying, "Go home, he's healed." So now, sometime later, Jesus is going. He went up to Jerusalem for the Jewish festivals, and he went to Bethesda. It is a pool near the sheep gate. Okay. So Bethesda is surrounded by covered what are called colonnades. So it's like a covered, roofed, shaded area. Think pavilion, think people walking under it, people sitting here to rest. A shaded walking area. It's got pillars, just to paint the picture. So in this area are the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. And there's one particular guy there. He's been an invalid for 38 years. 38 years. So of course, naturally, Jesus learned of his condition and he saw him lying there and he asked him, he said, "Hey, do you want to make your situation better?" Let me read the red. He says, "Do you want to get well?" Okay. So let me add some context here. The sick, the blind, the lame, the invalid, they laid there because an angel would come down and stir the water in the pool of Bethesda. And whoever got in the water right after the water was stirred was immediately healed. So the man replies, "Oh, sir, I don't have anybody to help me in the pool once the water is stirred. And then when I get down there, somebody always gets in front of me." So Jesus, straight faced, "Get up, pick up your mat, and walk." It's in red. That's what he said. Actually, because Jesus said it, he got up, he picked up his mat, and he was cured. Once the Jewish leaders noticed this, though, mind you, this happened on the day of Sabbath. So they said, "Hey, it's the day of Sabbath. You are not allowed to carry your mat. It's the law." So for context, on the day of Sabbath, this was a day of rest. This was an actual law. You were not allowed to do anything except rest. But he replied, "That man who made me well told me to pick up my mat and walk. I am doing exactly what he told me to do." And they said, "Who is this man that you speak of?" But he didn't know and he couldn't tell him because he turned around and Jesus was gone. Right on the way in the crowd, just like only Jesus can do. I don't know about y'all, but I just think Jesus was just a bad. He was cold. We're going to get back in it. So I need to read this because there's a whole lot of red. I told y'all Jesus is tired. Okay. He's sick of our excuses. Later, he found the same guy that he healed at the temple. And he looked at him and he said, "See, you are well again. Stop sinning or something worse may happen to you." And the man went away and told the Jewish leaders that it was Jesus who made him well. For this reason, because he was doing these things on the Sabbath, they tried even more to kill him. And in his defense, he says to him, "My father is always at work to this very day, and I too am working." That made them even more upset. And they even more said, "Okay, we need to kill him." Because now, not only are you doing these things on the Sabbath, now you're comparing yourself to God. Now you're saying you're equal to the Most High. All right, y'all. Here go his tangent. Jesus gave them this answer. "Very truly, I tell you, the Son can do nothing by himself. He can only do what he sees his Father doing, because whatever the Father does, the Son also does. For the Father loves the Son and shows him all he does. Yes, and he will show him even greater works than these, so that you will be amazed. For just as the Father raises the dead and gives them life, even so the Son gives life to whom he is pleased to give it. Moreover, the Father judges no one, but has entrusted all judgment to the Son, that all may honor the Son, just as they honor the Father. Whoever does not honor the Son does not honor the Father who sent him. Very truly, I tell you, whoever hears my word and believes him who sent me has eternal life and will not be judged, but has crossed over from death to life. Very truly, I tell you, a time is coming and has now come when the dead will hear the voice of the Son of God, and those who hear will live. For as the Father has life in himself, so has granted the Son also to have life in himself. And he has given him authority to judge because he is the Son of Man. Do not be amazed at this, for a time is coming when all who are in their graves will hear his voice and come out. Those who have done what is good will rise to live, and those who have done what is evil will rise to be condemned. But by myself I can do nothing. I judge only as I hear, and my judgment is just. For I seek not to please myself, but he who sent me. If I testify about myself, my testimony is not true. There is another who testifies in my favor, and I know that his testimony about me is true. You have sent to John, and he has testified to the truth. Not that I accept human testimony, but I mention it that you may be saved. John was a lamp that burned and gave light, and you chose for a time to enjoy his light. I have testimony weightier than that of John. For the works that the Father has given me to finish, the very works that I am doing, testify that the Father has sent me. And the Father who sent me has himself testified concerning me. You have never heard his voice nor seen his form, nor does his word dwell in you, for you do not believe the one he sent. You study the scriptures diligently because you think that in them you have eternal life. These are the very scriptures that testify about me, yet you refuse to come to me to have life. He said, I do not accept glory from human beings, but I know you. I know that you do not have the love of God in your hearts. I have come in my Father's name, and you do not accept me. But if someone else comes in his own name, you will accept him. How can you believe, since you accept glory from one another, but do not seek the glory that comes from the only God? But do not think I will accuse you before the Father. Your accuser is Moses, on whom your hopes are set. If you believed Moses, you would believe me, for he wrote about me. But since you do not believe what he wrote, how are you going to believe what I say? So John chapter 5 has a lot of Jesus speaking. And it can be hard to follow, but I want to dissect it. John chapter 5 touches on problem solving and being a resource, right, to yourself, and not allowing excuses to blur your vision and make yourself a liability, if you will. Very simply put, we are not victims, people. You are not a victim. The first step when you are overcoming problems, honestly, is admitting that you have the desire to want to do better or change. Let's go back to our invalid friend. Jesus asked him, do you want to be well? Do you want to be better? In other words, do you care enough about your problem to do something about it, even if it requires some hard work and sacrifice on your end? Listen, this man met Jesus with excuses. Oh God, I don't have anybody to help me to the pool. And then when I get to the pool, everybody gets in front of me and I don't make... Jesus don't want to hear that. When Jesus sends someone to help you, you cannot have that martyr spirit. The person who clings to this martyr spirit is unlikely to experience the healing. Very simply put. Because Jesus is who he is, he cuts straight through your weeping and gets straight to the point. Get up. Get up. Pick your mat up and go walk. So if you haven't noticed, the mat was his proverbial problems. Whatever it is that we know that we need to do better at or fix, that was the mat. Stop waiting for people to feel bad and just get up and walk. Stop waiting for someone to ask you if you want to do and get and be better, and just do it. And most importantly, when you've prayed and done the work and you can clearly feel and hear Jesus, and he's the reason why things get better in your life, don't you dare let somebody tell you that it was a miracle or that it wasn't Jesus. It was Jesus, and you need to scream it from the mountaintops, because you know and I know that only Jesus can do the things that Jesus does. All right, y'all. John chapter 5 is in the books. Bye.